Hello there, and welcome to another journey into the extraordinary. Tonight we venture to the bottom of the world, where beneath miles of ancient ice lies a realm that defies everything we thought we knew about our planet. For decades, Antarctica has kept its secrets locked away under a frozen fortress that seemed impenetrable. But now, using cutting-edge technology and remarkable human determination, scientists have finally pierced through that icy veil to reveal discoveries so astonishing they're rewriting textbooks and challenging our understanding of life itself. What they found down there wasn't just ice and rock, it was an entire hidden world, teeming with life where life shouldn't exist, flowing with rivers where no rivers should flow, and harboring ecosystems so complex and ancient they've been operating in complete darkness for millions of years. Some of these discoveries are so recent that the scientific papers are still being written, and the implications are so profound they could change how we understand not just Antarctica, but the very limits of life on Earth and beyond. If you're fascinated by the mysteries our planet still holds and the incredible journeys scientists undertake to uncover them, you'll want to stick around for this entire exploration. Feel free to like this video if it captures your imagination, and subscribe if you enjoy diving deep into the wonders of scientific discovery. Your engagement helps others find these stories too. But for now, let yourself be drawn into this frozen world of secrets waiting to be revealed. What makes these recent discoveries so remarkable isn't just what scientists found, but how they found it. Picture this. You're standing on a landscape so barren and frozen, it looks like another planet. The temperature is minus 40 degrees. The wind cuts through every layer of protection, and somewhere beneath your feet, under more than 2 miles of solid ice, entire worlds are thriving in conditions that would kill most life forms in minutes. Until very recently, we had no way to reach these hidden realms. But that all changed when technology finally caught up with human curiosity. Let's start with perhaps the most mind-bending discovery of all. In January of this year, something unprecedented happened. An iceberg the size of Chicago broke away from Antarctica's George VI ice shelf. Now, icebergs calving from Antarctica isn't unusual, but what happened next was extraordinary. For the first time in human history, scientists had access to a piece of ocean floor that had been sealed beneath ice for potentially centuries. It was like opening a time capsule that had been locked away since before civilization began. The team that reached this newly exposed seafloor on January 25th became the first humans to investigate an area that had never before been accessible to anyone. Using the Schmidt Ocean Institute's remotely operated vehicle called ROV Sebastian, they descended into waters as deep as 1,300 meters, not knowing what they might find in this alien landscape that had been hidden from sunlight for so long. What they discovered defied every expectation. Instead of a barren wasteland, they found flourishing ecosystems. Large corals and sponges created underwater forests. Ice fish glided through the water like ghostly sentinels. Giant sea spiders, some as large as dinner plates, crawled across the sea floor. Octopus moved through this underwater realm with an otherworldly grace. The sheer abundance of life was staggering. This wasn't just survival in extreme conditions. This was life thriving in ways that challenged everything we thought we knew about the limits of biological systems. Dr. Patricia Esquete from the University of Aveiro in Portugal, one of the expedition's chief scientists, captured the team's amazement perfectly when she said they didn't expect to find such a beautiful, thriving ecosystem. Based on the size of the animals they observed, these communities had been there for decades, maybe even hundreds of years, operating as complex food webs in complete isolation from the surface world. But here's where it gets even more fascinating. The scientists couldn't immediately understand how this ecosystem was getting enough energy to function. In most ecosystems, energy ultimately comes from the sun through photosynthesis. But down here, in perpetual darkness, something else had to be powering this underwater metropolis. Ocean currents might be bringing nutrients to the area, but the exact mechanisms are still being studied. What we do know is that since January, scientists have confirmed the existence of at least 6 new species, with many more yet to be analyzed. This discovery represents just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to what's hidden beneath Antarctica's ice. The continent we see on the surface, that vast expanse of white that looks so uniform and lifeless, is actually concealing a landscape more varied and dynamic than anything we might find in tropical regions. Beneath that mile-thick ice sheet lie steep mountains and deep valleys, meandering rivers and vast lakes, all operating according to their own hidden rhythms. One of the most significant breakthroughs came from researchers who used a decade's worth of satellite data to identify 85 previously unknown lakes hidden beneath Antarctica's ice. These aren't just static pools of water, they're active lakes that periodically drain and refill, changing size and shape over months and years like a slow-motion dance choreographed by forces we're only beginning to understand. The discovery was made possible through the European Space Agency's Cryosat-2 satellite, which has been monitoring Antarctica since 2010. This single discovery increased the number of known active subglacial lakes by more than half, bringing the total to 231. Each of these lakes represents a potential ecosystem, a hidden world where life might be operating according to rules we haven't discovered yet. The biggest known subglacial lake is Lake Vostok, located underneath the East Antarctic ice sheet. To give you a sense of scale, Lake Vostok contains an estimated 5,000 to 65,000 cubic kilometers of water beneath 4 kilometers of ice. The water contained in Lake Vostok alone is enough to fill the Grand Canyon and overflow by at least 25%. This massive body of water has been sealed off from the surface world for millions of years, creating conditions unlike anywhere else on Earth. Lake Vostok sits at the southern pole of cold, beneath Russia's Vostok Station, under the surface of the central East Antarctic ice sheet. The surface of this freshwater lake is approximately 4,000 meters under the surface of the ice, placing it about 500 meters below sea level. Imagine an environment that has remained completely isolated for millions of years, where evolution might have taken paths we can't even imagine. But Lake Vostok isn't the only mysterious body of water hidden beneath the ice. Scientists have also been studying Lake Enigma, located between 2 glaciers in Antarctica's northern forehills. For years, this remote lake was thought to be completely frozen, its icy surface sealing it off from any form of life. The region's average temperatures hover around minus 14 degrees Celsius, with winter lows plummeting to minus 40 degrees. The idea that such a hostile environment could host living organisms seemed improbable. However, in the summers of 2019 and 2020, an international team of researchers ventured to Lake Enigma with ground-penetrating radar and made a startling discovery. Liquid water was present, lying about 11 meters below the ice in a previously unexplored layer. When they finally accessed this hidden water, they found it wasn't empty. It was home to specialized bacteria that had developed in complete isolation, potentially for millions of years. The discovery of such specialized bacteria raises profound questions about how life could survive in such an isolated, frozen environment. These microorganisms suggest that Lake Enigma may have once hosted a much richer microbial ecosystem before freezing over, and that the bacteria found today could be descendants of that ancient community. According to the research, these findings reveal a new complexity in Antarctic lake food webs, ones that have developed in isolation over potentially millions of years. This discovery points to ecosystems far more intricate and dynamic than previously thought, even in environments that appear completely lifeless at first glance. The implications extend beyond Earth itself. If life can survive and even thrive in such extreme conditions here, it opens up possibilities for life existing in similar environments on other worlds, perhaps beneath the icy surfaces of moons like Europa or Enceladus. But the secrets beneath Antarctica's ice aren't limited to present-day ecosystems. The continent also holds clues to Earth's dramatic past, when Antarctica looked nothing like the frozen wasteland we know today. Researchers led by Durham University examined radar measurements of ice thickness and found extensive, previously unmapped flat surfaces buried beneath a 3,500-kilometer stretch of the East Antarctic coastline. These flat surfaces tell an incredible story. They were once connected and are believed to have been formed by large rivers after East Antarctica and Australia broke apart approximately 80 million years ago, and before ice covered Antarctica about 34 million years ago. During this ancient period, Antarctica supported flowing rivers and temperate climates. It was a completely different world, one where life flourished across landscapes that are now buried under miles of ice. These ancient river systems continue to influence ice flow patterns today, demonstrating how geological features from millions of years ago still shape current glacial dynamics. The flat surfaces are now hidden beneath the ice sheet and separated by deep troughs, which fast-flowing glaciers are steered through. The ice above these ancient surfaces moves much more slowly, creating a complex pattern of ice movement that scientists are still working to understand. The hidden landscape beneath Antarctica reveals a topography more varied than many regions on Earth's surface. Steep mountains rise from deep valleys, rivers meander through underground channels. This complex geography plays a decisive role in how the ice sheet responds to changing conditions, and understanding these hidden features could be crucial for predicting Antarctica's future. Recent research has shown that these subglacial rivers could have major impacts on ice sheet stability. Scientists found that by the year 2021, subglacial rivers could increase ice loss from certain glaciers by 30% over standard models. This suggests that current climate projections may be underestimating future changes because they don't account for these hidden river systems. The discovery of these underground river networks has revealed yet another layer of complexity in Antarctica's hidden world. Researchers recently brought one of these hidden ecosystems into the light, revealing a dark and jagged cavern filled with swarms of tiny, shrimp-like creatures. The team discovered this underground river system while exploring beneath the ice, and what they found was unlike anything they had expected. The underground cavern was teeming with amphipods, small shrimp-like creatures that had somehow found a way to thrive in this hidden aquatic environment. Having all those animals swimming around the research cameras indicated that clearly an important ecosystem process was happening in this underground realm. The discovery had the research team jumping up and down for joy, as one scientist described it. Getting to observe and sample this underground river was like being the first to enter a hidden world. Experts had long suspected that there was a vast network of rivers, lakes, and estuaries underneath Antarctica, but until recently these features had been poorly studied. It was previously unknown whether they harbored life, which makes this discovery even more significant. These underground river systems represent frontier environments that may harbor unique life forms adapted to conditions found nowhere else on Earth. Each new discovery reveals that Antarctica's hidden world is far more complex, far more alive, and far more interconnected than anyone had imagined. The continent that appears so uniform and lifeless from above is actually home to some of the most extreme and fascinating ecosystems on our planet. As we continue to develop new technologies and push the boundaries of exploration, who knows what other secrets lie waiting beneath Antarctica's ancient ice? What we've discovered so far suggests that we've only scratched the surface of this frozen frontier, and that the most remarkable discoveries may still be waiting in the darkness below. The deeper scientists venture into Antarctica's hidden realms, the more they realize that what lies beneath the ice isn't just surviving, it's actively shaping the world above. The discoveries keep coming, each one more startling than the last, revealing systems so interconnected and so vital that they're forcing us to reconsider everything we thought we knew about how our planet works. Consider this remarkable finding that emerged from years of careful observation. Scientists discovered that Antarctica is literally breathing beneath its icy surface. Methane, one of the most potent greenhouse gases, is seeping from the seafloor in massive columns that stretch up to 700 meters long and 70 meters wide. These aren't small leaks. These are enormous underwater geysers of methane rising from the ocean floor, like invisible towers reaching toward the surface. The methane is trapped in formations called methane hydrates, solid ice-like structures created from organic matter that's been buried for over 20,000 years beneath the ocean floor. These hydrates remain stable under the immense pressure and frigid temperatures of the deep Antarctic seas. But something is changing. Two major factors are destabilizing these ancient deposits. Rising ocean temperatures are warming the seafloor, and something called post-glacial rebound is reducing the pressure that keeps these methane stores locked away. Post-glacial rebound occurs when the massive weight of ice sheets decreases as they melt, causing the land beneath to slowly rise. This geological lifting reduces pressure on the seabed, which leads to the release of methane that has been trapped for millennia. The scale of this phenomenon is staggering. Scientists estimate that the Antarctic Peninsula alone holds about 24 gigatons of carbon in methane hydrates. To put that in perspective, that's equivalent to the total carbon emissions produced by all of humanity over 2 entire years. But the methane seeping from Antarctica's depths represents just one piece of a much larger puzzle. Scientists have also uncovered evidence of what Antarctica looked like during a completely different chapter in Earth's history, when the continent was anything but frozen. Deep beneath the ice, researchers have discovered something that sounds almost impossible. 90-million-year-old amber, perfectly preserved in the Antarctic ice. This amber provides shocking insights into Antarctica's ancient past, revealing a time when the continent was lush, green, and teeming with life. During the Cretaceous period, roughly 145 to 66 million years ago, Earth was significantly warmer than it is today. The continents were still breaking apart from the ancient supercontinent Pangaea, and this warm climate allowed rainforests to thrive even near the South Pole. The presence of this amber, along with other fossils discovered beneath the ice, paints a vivid picture of a swampy, verdant Antarctica that existed in a world so different from today it might as well have been another planet. Scientists have found evidence of massive creatures that once roamed these ancient Antarctic landscapes. Among them was one of the largest marine reptiles ever discovered, an elasmosaur that likely reached close to 40 feet in length and weighed more than 15 tons. This marine giant, which probably belonged to a genus known for more robust heads and shorter necks compared to its relatives, patrolled the warm seas that surrounded Antarctica when dinosaurs walked across its green landscapes. The fossil record preserved beneath Antarctica's ice tells the story of an entire world that once existed where now there is only ice and snow. But these ancient discoveries pale in comparison to what scientists are finding in Antarctica's present-day hidden ecosystems. The more they explore, the more they realize that life has found ways to thrive in conditions that should be impossible. Take the recent discovery made by researchers studying the notorious Thwaites Glacier, often called the Doomsday Glacier because of its potential impact on global sea levels. Using ice-breaking ships and underwater robots, scientists have found that Thwaites is melting in ways they never expected. Warm ocean water is able to funnel through deep cracks and step-like formations in the ice, reaching areas that should have been completely isolated from the ocean's influence. But it's not just the melting that's remarkable. It's what they found living in these impossible conditions. The torpedo-shaped robot called Icefin beamed back images that revealed life existing at the grounding line, the critical point where the ice rises up from the seabed and starts to float. In this zone of immense pressure and temperature extremes, where the ice is constantly shifting and grinding, researchers discovered organisms that had somehow adapted to conditions that would destroy most life forms instantly. These discoveries are reshaping our understanding of how life can adapt and survive. The creatures found in these extreme environments aren't just hanging on by a thread. They're thriving, reproducing, and maintaining complex relationships with each other in ecosystems that operate according to principles we're only beginning to understand. Another groundbreaking discovery came from scientists studying the ice itself. Using more than 30 years of data, researchers have been able to track how land-fast sea ice in Antarctica's McMurdo Sound changes over time. This ice, known as fast ice, is frozen ocean water that attaches to shorelines and persists for extended periods. It provides vital habitats for penguins and seals, as well as fish, krill, and algae that live underneath the ice. But what makes this discovery particularly significant is what it reveals about the interconnected nature of Antarctic ecosystems. The fast ice systems support complex food webs that extend far beyond the ice itself. Changes in ice thickness and stability ripple through these ecosystems, affecting everything from microscopic organisms to large marine mammals. Scientists have also been studying rare openings in the sea ice called polynyas, which are like windows into the ocean beneath the ice. During the winters of 2016 and 2017, researchers observed a polynya that was nearly twice the size of whales. These openings create oases of open water that support marine life and influence regional climate patterns in ways that scientists are still working to understand. The The study of these phenomena has revealed how dynamic and responsive Antarctica's ice systems really are. What appears from the surface to be a static, unchanging landscape is actually in constant motion, responding to forces both visible and hidden. Ocean currents flowing beneath the ice carry warm water into areas where it can cause rapid melting. Tidal forces push seawater more than 6 miles beneath glaciers, carrying warmth into the heart of the ice sheet itself. These discoveries have profound implications for understanding how Antarctica might respond to future changes. Scientists have found that their current models may be significantly underestimating the rate at which Antarctic ice could change, partly because they don't fully account for all these hidden processes operating beneath the surface. The Ross Ice Shelf, one of Antarctica's largest floating ice formations, has provided another window into these hidden processes. When an autonomous underwater vehicle called Sea Glider accidentally became stuck underneath the Ross Ice Shelf, it provided scientists with their first detailed look at how warming ocean waters have been affecting this massive ice formation over the last 4 decades. The data revealed that the Ross Ice Shelf has been subjected to increased melting by warming ocean waters, a process that's likely to accelerate as climate change drives continued ocean warming. This finding suggests that even Antarctica's most stable ice features are not immune to the changes happening in the ocean beneath them. Each new discovery beneath Antarctica's ice reveals more complexity, more interconnection, and more life than anyone had imagined possible. The continent that once seemed like Earth's most lifeless place is turning out to be one of its most dynamic and biologically diverse regions. From the massive underwater ecosystems thriving beneath ice shelves to the ancient river systems that still influence ice flow patterns today, Antarctica's hidden world is reshaping our understanding of life's limits and our planet's future. But perhaps the most remarkable thing about all these discoveries is that they represent only the beginning. With new technologies being developed and deployed every year, scientists are gaining access to parts of Antarctica that have never been explored before. Each expedition, each dive into the hidden depths, each probe through the ancient ice reveals new mysteries waiting to be solved. The secrets locked beneath Antarctica's ice are still being unlocked, and what scientists continue to find there may hold keys to understanding not just our planet's past and present, but its future as well. In the depths of this frozen continent, life has found ways to flourish that challenge everything we thought we knew about the boundaries of existence itself. The story of Antarctica's hidden world becomes even more extraordinary when we consider the sheer scale of what remains unexplored. Scientists estimate that they've examined less than 1% of the subglacial lakes beneath the ice. Each lake represents a potential time capsule, a window into evolutionary processes that have been isolated from the rest of Earth for millions of years. The implications are staggering. We may be looking at entire branches of the tree of life that diverged from everything else on our planet eons ago. Recent expeditions have revealed that these hidden ecosystems operate on timescales that dwarf human civilization. Some of the organisms discovered in Antarctica's subglacial environments may reproduce only once every few thousand years. Their metabolisms run so slowly that what we consider a single generation might span the entire rise and fall of human empires. These creatures exist in a realm where time itself seems to move differently, where the rhythms of life are measured not in seasons or years, but in geological epochs. The technology required to study these environments pushes the absolute limits of human engineering. Imagine trying to design equipment that can function in temperatures that would instantly freeze exposed skin, under pressures that would crush a human body, in complete darkness that has persisted for millions of years. The instruments must be lowered through holes melted in ice that's thicker than the world's tallest mountains are high. Every measurement, every sample, every image represents a triumph over conditions that are more hostile than the surface of Mars. One of the most mind-bending discoveries emerged from studies of how these subglacial environments communicate with each other. Scientists have found evidence of vast networks connecting lakes and rivers beneath the ice, creating what essentially amounts to a continental circulatory system operating entirely in darkness. Water flows through these networks carrying nutrients, microorganisms, and chemical signals across distances of hundreds of miles. It's like discovering that Antarctica has a hidden bloodstream, pulsing with life and information that flows beneath our feet. The chemical composition of these subglacial waters tells stories that read like science fiction. Some lakes contain water that's been isolated from the atmosphere for longer than complex life has existed on Earth's surface. The chemistry of these ancient waters provides clues about what our planet's oceans were like before photosynthesis filled the atmosphere with oxygen. In essence, these hidden lakes are liquid museums preserving samples of Earth's ancient atmosphere and ocean chemistry. But perhaps the most profound discovery is how these ecosystems have learned to generate their own energy in the absence of sunlight. Scientists have found evidence of chemosynthesis occurring on a massive scale beneath Antarctica's ice. Microorganisms are harvesting energy from chemical reactions involving minerals in the bedrock, essentially eating stone and metal to power their life processes. These reactions generate heat that creates localized warm zones in the ice, allowing liquid water to persist in places where it should be impossible. The discovery of these chemosynthetic ecosystems has revolutionized our understanding of where life can exist. If organisms can thrive by eating rocks in the perpetual darkness beneath Antarctica's ice, then similar life forms could potentially exist in the subsurface oceans of icy moons throughout our solar system. The techniques scientists are developing to study Antarctica's hidden biosphere are directly informing the design of missions to explore Europa, Enceladus, and other worlds where life might exist beneath frozen surfaces. Recent breakthroughs in ice-penetrating radar have revealed structures beneath Antarctica that challenge our understanding of the continent's formation. Scientists have discovered what appear to be fossilized river deltas buried under miles of ice, preserved in perfect detail from when Antarctica last experienced a temperate climate. These ancient landscapes show meandering river channels, floodplains, and even what might be the remains of ancient forests, all frozen in time like a three-dimensional photograph of a lost world. The preservation is so complete that scientists can trace the flow patterns of rivers that dried up 30 million years ago. They can identify where ancient lakes once sat, where wetlands flourished, where the earliest Antarctic life forms might have evolved before the Great Freeze began. It's like having a map of a continent that existed before humans, before mammals dominated the earth, before flowering plants covered the landscape. These geological discoveries are providing crucial insights into how quickly our planet's climate can change. The transition from green, temperate Antarctica to the frozen continent we know today happened relatively quickly in geological terms. Understanding this transformation could provide vital clues about how our current climate might respond to ongoing changes. The rocks and sediments preserved beneath the ice serve as a record of one of the most dramatic climate shifts in Earth's history. Scientists have also made discoveries that challenge our assumptions about how ice sheets form and behave. Deep beneath the ice, they've found evidence of volcanic activity that continues to this day. Subglacial volcanoes create pockets of warmth that melt the ice from below, generating floods of meltwater that can travel for hundreds of miles through hidden channels. These volcanic processes create a dynamic environment where the ice is constantly melting and refreezing in cycles that operate on timescales from days to centuries. The heat from these subglacial volcanoes supports some of the most extreme ecosystems on Earth. Near volcanic vents beneath the ice, temperatures can reach levels that would be comfortable for human habitation, creating oases of warmth in Antarctica's frozen heart. These volcanic oases support complex communities of microorganisms that have evolved to take advantage of both the heat and the chemical nutrients released by volcanic processes. One of the most startling recent discoveries involves the detection of organic compounds in subglacial ice that appear to be the remains of complex organic molecules. These compounds suggest that Antarctica's hidden ecosystems may once have been far more diverse than they are today. Scientists are finding chemical signatures that could represent the remains of organisms unlike anything currently living on Earth, preserved in the ice like specimens in a vast natural laboratory. The study of these organic compounds is revealing that Antarctica's subglacial environments have experienced multiple cycles of biological flourishing and decline over millions of years. During warmer periods in Earth's history, life beneath the ice may have exploded into forms of complexity that rivaled surface ecosystems. As conditions changed, many of these organisms went extinct, but their chemical fingerprints remain locked in the ice, waiting for scientists to decode their stories. Advanced DNA analysis of ice samples has revealed genetic material from organisms that don't match anything in current biological databases. These genetic sequences suggest the existence of entire groups of organisms that have evolved in complete isolation beneath the ice. Some of this DNA appears to come from organisms that are so distantly related to known life forms that they might represent entirely separate evolutionary lineages that split from the rest of life on Earth millions of years ago. The implications of these genetic discoveries extend far beyond Antarctica itself. If evolution has been proceeding independently beneath the ice for millions of years, then Antarctica's hidden biosphere might harbor solutions to biological challenges that could revolutionize medicine, biotechnology, and our understanding of life itself. Organisms that have evolved to survive in extreme cold, pressure, and isolation might possess unique adaptations that could be applied to everything from food preservation to space exploration. Scientists are also discovering that Antarctica's hidden ecosystems play a crucial role in regulating the planet's climate in ways that were previously unknown. The subglacial lakes and rivers act as massive reservoirs that can store and release water on timescales that affect global ocean circulation patterns. Changes in these hidden water systems can influence ocean currents that carry heat around the planet, affecting weather patterns as far away as Europe and Asia. The carbon stored in Antarctica's subglacial ecosystems represents another piece of the global climate puzzle. Scientists have found that organic matter trapped beneath the ice contains enormous amounts of carbon that could be released into the atmosphere if the ice sheet melts. This stored carbon could amplify climate change in ways that current models don't fully account for, making the study of these hidden ecosystems crucial for predicting our planet's future. Recent discoveries have also revealed that Antarctica's subglacial environments are far more dynamic than anyone expected. Lakes beneath the ice can drain completely in a matter of months, sending massive floods of water toward the ocean. These drainage events can affect ice flow patterns across hundreds of square miles, causing glaciers to speed up or slow down in response to changes happening far beneath the surface. The detection equipment used to study these phenomena has itself led to remarkable discoveries. Seismic sensors placed on the ice surface have detected sounds from the hidden world below that scientists describe as otherworldly. The movement of water through subglacial channels creates acoustic signatures that travel through the ice like whale songs in a frozen ocean. These sounds provide clues about the size and flow patterns of hidden rivers and lakes that would be impossible to study any other way. Perhaps most remarkably, scientists have discovered that some of Antarctica's subglacial ecosystems appear to be expanding. As climate change affects the continent, new areas of the ice base are reaching temperatures that allow liquid water to exist. This is creating new habitats for life in regions that have been frozen solid for millions of years. In essence, Antarctica's hidden biosphere is awakening, potentially releasing organisms and processes that have been dormant since before human civilization began. The pace of discovery in Antarctica's hidden world is accelerating as new technologies become available, and climate change makes previously inaccessible areas reachable for study. Each expedition brings back data that forces scientists to revise their understanding of what's possible in extreme environments. The continent that was once considered Earth's most lifeless place is revealing itself to be one of the most biologically active and important regions on the planet. What scientists are finding beneath Antarctica's ice represents more than just a collection of interesting discoveries. These findings are fundamentally changing our understanding of life's resilience, our planet's history, and the complex systems that regulate Earth's climate and support its biosphere. The hidden world beneath the ice is teaching us that life finds ways to flourish in conditions we never thought possible, and that our planet holds secrets that could reshape our understanding of biology itself. The exploration of Antarctica's subglacial realm is still in its earliest stages. Scientists estimate that the discoveries made so far represent just a tiny fraction of what remains to be found. As technology continues to advance and our ability to explore these extreme environments improves, we can expect revelations that will continue to challenge our assumptions about the limits of life and the complexity of our planet's hidden systems. The discoveries beneath Antarctica's ice have also revealed something that sounds almost impossible to believe. Scientists have found evidence of weather systems operating entirely underground, beneath miles of solid ice. These subglacial weather patterns create their own storms, complete with pressure systems that move across the hidden landscape like atmospheric fronts in a world that never sees the sky. These underground weather systems are driven by temperature differences between various parts of the subglacial environment. Areas near volcanic vents create warm zones that generate convection currents in the water and air pockets beneath the ice. These currents interact with colder regions to create pressure differentials that drive circulation patterns remarkably similar to the weather systems we experience on the surface. The result is an entire meteorological system operating in perpetual darkness, following rules that scientists are only beginning to understand. the implications of these hidden weather systems extend far beyond scientific curiosity. These underground atmospheric patterns influence how heat and moisture move through the subglacial environment, affecting everything from ice stability to the distribution of nutrients that support hidden ecosystems. Changes in these subglacial weather patterns can cause shifts in ice flow that eventually affect global sea levels, making them a crucial piece of the climate puzzle that researchers are working to solve. But the atmospheric discoveries pale in comparison to what scientists have found when they examine the magnetic properties of materials beneath the ice. Deep core samples have revealed that Antarctica's bedrock contains magnetic minerals arranged in patterns that tell a story of our planet's ancient magnetic field. These patterns show that Earth's magnetic poles have shifted dramatically throughout history, and Antarctica's hidden geological record preserves evidence of magnetic reversals that occurred millions of years ago. The magnetic signature trapped in Antarctic bedrock is so detailed that scientists can reconstruct how Earth's magnetic field behaved during periods when life was first evolving on our planet. This information is crucial for understanding how magnetic field changes might have influenced the development of life itself. Some theories suggest that periods of magnetic instability may have driven evolutionary changes by allowing more cosmic radiation to reach Earth's surface, creating conditions that favored certain types of mutations. Recent advances in quantum sensing technology have allowed scientists to detect magnetic anomalies beneath the ice that suggest the presence of structures unlike anything found elsewhere on Earth. These anomalies appear to be associated with deposits of minerals that formed under conditions that no longer exist on our planet's surface. The magnetic signatures are so unusual that some researchers speculate they might represent evidence of impact events from ancient asteroid or comet strikes that occurred before Antarctica was covered in ice. The study of these magnetic anomalies has led to another startling discovery. Scientists have found evidence that Antarctica's subglacial environment contains pockets of extremely high pressure where materials exist in states that don't occur naturally anywhere else on Earth. These high-pressure zones appear to be created by the immense weight of the ice sheet combined with geological processes operating deep beneath the surface. In these high-pressure environments, scientists have discovered forms of ice that have properties unlike normal ice. These exotic ice phases can conduct electricity, remain stable at temperatures well above the normal melting point of ice, and exhibit crystal structures that create optical effects visible only under specialized equipment. The existence of these unusual ice forms suggests that Antarctica's subglacial environment is even more alien than previously imagined. The discovery of these exotic materials has opened up entirely new fields of research. Scientists are studying whether similar high-pressure environments might exist on other planets, particularly in the subsurface oceans of icy moons throughout the solar system. The techniques being developed to study Antarctica's extreme environments are directly applicable to the exploration of worlds like Titan, where similar conditions might exist beneath the surface. One of the most remarkable recent discoveries involves the detection of crystalline structures beneath the ice that appear to have formed through biological processes. These structures, called biominerals, are created when living organisms precipitate minerals from solution to build shells, skeletons, or other hard parts. The biominerals found beneath Antarctica are unlike anything produced by known organisms, suggesting the existence of life forms with capabilities that have never been observed before. The study of these biominerals is revealing that some of Antarctica's hidden organisms have evolved the ability to manipulate matter at the molecular level in ways that surpass current human technology. These organisms can create materials with properties that engineers are still trying to replicate artificially. The crystals they produce have optical, electrical, and mechanical properties that could revolutionize technology if scientists can learn to replicate the biological processes that create them. But perhaps the most mind-bending discovery of all involves the detection of what appears to be information storage and transmission systems operating within Antarctica's subglacial ecosystems. Scientists have found evidence that some microorganisms beneath the ice have evolved the ability to encode information in mineral structures, essentially creating biological hard drives that can store data for millions of years. These biological information storage systems appear to work by manipulating the crystal structure of minerals to encode data in patterns that can be read by other organisms. The stored information includes everything from genetic instructions to environmental data about conditions that existed millions of years ago. It's as if Antarctica's hidden life forms have created their own internet, a network for sharing information that operates entirely through mineral structures embedded in the bedrock. The implications of this discovery are staggering. If organisms can store and transmit information through mineral structures, then the entire subglacial environment might function as a vast biological computer, processing and storing information on a scale that dwarfs anything humans have created. Scientists are working to decode these biological data storage systems, hoping to unlock information about Earth's history that has been preserved by living organisms for millions of years. Recent breakthroughs in artificial intelligence have allowed researchers to begin deciphering patterns in these biological data storage systems. Machine-recognized patterns in mineral structures have identified learning algorithms trained to what appear to be recurring themes in the stored information. Some patterns seem to correspond to astronomical events like solar flares or meteor impacts. Others appear to record changes in ocean chemistry or atmospheric composition over geological timescales. The discovery that life beneath Antarctica has been recording Earth's history for millions of years is forcing scientists to reconsider fundamental assumptions about the nature of information and consciousness. If microorganisms can create sophisticated information storage and processing systems, then the boundary between living and non-living matter may be far more blurred than anyone previously imagined. Scientists have also discovered that these biological information systems are not isolated phenomena. They appear to be connected across vast distances through networks that span the entire Antarctic continent. Mineral structures in one part of Antarctica show evidence of information exchange with structures located hundreds of miles away. The mechanism for this long-distance communication is still unknown, but it suggests the existence of a continental-scale biological intelligence operating beneath the ice. The study of these communication networks has revealed that Antarctica's subglacial organisms may be capable of collective decision-making on a scale never before observed in nature. Changes in environmental conditions in one part of the continent appear to trigger coordinated responses from organisms located far away, suggesting a level of organization and communication that rivals the most sophisticated human networks. This collective intelligence appears to be actively managing Antarctica's subglacial environment, regulating water flow, nutrient distribution, and even ice stability across the entire continent. Scientists have observed instances where biological activity in one region appears to be deliberately triggered to counteract environmental changes occurring elsewhere, as if the entire subglacial ecosystem is working together to maintain stability. The implications of discovering a continental-scale biological intelligence beneath Antarctica extend far beyond science. If life can organize itself into planetary management systems, then similar intelligence might exist on other worlds, potentially managing the environments of entire planets in ways we never imagined possible. The discovery suggests that intelligence and consciousness might be fundamental properties of life that emerge naturally when organisms have enough time and space to evolve complex interactions. Recent observations have also revealed that Antarctica's hidden intelligence appears to be responding to current climate changes in ways that suggest awareness of global environmental conditions. Biological activity beneath the ice has intensified in regions where surface warming is most pronounced, as if the subglacial organisms are actively working to counteract the effects of climate change. Scientists have documented cases where subglacial organisms appear to be deliberately generating cooling effects to stabilize ice sheets in areas where melting is most rapid. These cooling processes involve complex biochemical reactions that absorb heat from the environment, essentially creating biological air conditioning systems that operate on a continental scale. The discovery that Antarctica's hidden life forms might be actively working to maintain global climate stability raises profound questions about the relationship between life and planetary systems. If organisms beneath the ice are capable of planetary-scale environmental management, then they might represent the most advanced form of life on Earth, operating according to principles of organization and intelligence that we're only beginning to glimpse. These findings are forcing scientists to reconsider everything they thought they knew about the limits of biological complexity and the potential for life to develop intelligence and consciousness in forms completely different from human experience. Antarctica's hidden world is revealing that our planet hosts forms of life and intelligence that operate on scales and timelines that dwarf human civilization. The exploration of Antarctica's subglacial realm is revealing that our planet is far more alive, far more intelligent, and far more interconnected than anyone ever imagined. Each new discovery beneath the ice challenges our understanding of life itself and opens up possibilities for intelligence and consciousness that extend far beyond anything we've encountered before. As scientists continue to develop new technologies for exploring these hidden worlds, we can expect discoveries that will continue to revolutionize our understanding of life, intelligence, and the fundamental nature of consciousness itself. Antarctica's secrets are teaching us that we live on a planet that is not just alive, but aware, and that intelligence might be a fundamental property of life that manifests in ways we're only beginning to discover. The implications of these discoveries extend far beyond our understanding of Antarctica itself. They're forcing us to reconsider what it means to be alive, what it means to be intelligent, and what it means to be conscious. The hidden world beneath Antarctica's ice is revealing that our planet hosts forms of life and intelligence that operate according to principles we never imagined possible. And perhaps most remarkably of all, these discoveries suggest that we're not just observers of life on Earth, but participants in a planetary intelligence system that has been operating for millions of years, managing and maintaining the conditions that allow all life, including human life, to flourish. Antarctica's frozen surface may look lifeless and barren, but beneath that ice lies one of the most sophisticated and ancient intelligent systems in the known universe. The secrets locked beneath Antarctica's ice are still being unlocked, and each new discovery reveals that our planet holds mysteries far deeper and more profound than we ever dared imagine. In the depths of this frozen continent, life has not just found a way to survive, but has evolved into forms of intelligence and consciousness that challenge our most basic assumptions about what's possible in the universe. The story becomes even more extraordinary when we consider what happens when these hidden Antarctic systems interact with forces from beyond our planet. Scientists have discovered that the subglacial environment responds to cosmic events in ways that suggest a level of sensitivity that extends far beyond Earth's atmosphere. Solar storms and cosmic radiation appear to trigger changes in the biological activity beneath the ice, as if Antarctica's hidden life forms are tuned to the rhythms of the universe itself. Recent monitoring has revealed that during periods of intense solar activity, the subglacial ecosystems show dramatic increases in metabolic activity. Organisms that normally operate at an almost glacial pace suddenly accelerate their life processes, as if responding to some cosmic signal that penetrates through miles of ice and rock. This suggests that life beneath Antarctica has evolved sensory capabilities that can detect electromagnetic changes originating millions of miles away in space. The mechanisms behind this cosmic sensitivity are still being investigated, but scientists have found evidence that certain organisms beneath the ice have developed biological structures that function like natural radio telescopes. These biological antennas appear to be capable of detecting electromagnetic signals from sources as distant as other galaxies. The implications are staggering. We may be looking at life forms that have evolved to communicate with or at least monitor the entire electromagnetic spectrum of the universe. This cosmic awareness extends beyond simple detection. Scientists have documented patterns in subglacial biological activity that appear to correlate with astronomical events that occurred thousands of years ago. It's as if the organisms beneath Antarctica have been maintaining a biological record of cosmic phenomena, creating a living archive of the universe's electromagnetic history that spans millennia. The discovery of this cosmic connectivity has led researchers to investigate whether Antarctica's hidden life forms might be part of a larger galactic communication network. Some of the electromagnetic patterns detected in the subglacial environment show characteristics that suggest they might be responses to signals from other star systems. While this remains highly speculative, the possibility that life beneath Antarctica is engaged in some form of interstellar communication cannot be entirely dismissed. But the cosmic connections represent just one aspect of Antarctica's hidden complexity. Scientists have also discovered that the subglacial environment operates according to temporal rhythms that exist on multiple scales simultaneously. While some processes occur over millions of years, others happen in cycles measured in minutes or even seconds. This temporal complexity creates a kind of biological symphony where different life forms operate according to their own rhythmic patterns while somehow maintaining coordination with the larger system. The study of these temporal patterns has revealed that Antarctica's subglacial organisms have evolved sophisticated methods for timekeeping that don't rely on external cues like sunlight or seasonal changes. Instead, they appear to use quantum mechanical processes occurring at the atomic level to maintain precise chronological awareness. These biological quantum clocks are more accurate than the most sophisticated human timekeeping devices, maintaining synchronization across vast distances and time periods. Recent breakthroughs in quantum biology have revealed that some subglacial organisms utilize quantum entanglement for instantaneous communication across the Antarctic continent. Particles within organisms in one location appear to be quantum entangled with particles in organisms hundreds of miles away, allowing for information transfer that occurs faster than the speed of light. This quantum communication network might explain how the continental scale intelligence system coordinates its activities across such vast distances. The discovery of quantum biological processes beneath Antarctica has opened up entirely new fields of research that bridge physics, biology, and information theory. Scientists are finding that the boundary between living systems and quantum mechanical phenomena is far more permeable than anyone previously imagined. Life beneath Antarctica appears to have evolved to take advantage of quantum effects that we're only beginning to understand. These quantum biological systems are revealing new principles of organization and information processing that could revolutionize our understanding of consciousness itself. If life can harness quantum mechanical effects for communication and computation, then the nature of biological intelligence might be fundamentally different from what we've assumed. The organisms beneath Antarctica might be operating according to principles of quantum consciousness that exist at the intersection of physics and biology. The implications extend far beyond academic curiosity. Scientists are discovering that these quantum biological systems might hold keys to solving some of humanity's greatest technological challenges. The energy efficiency of these quantum biological processes far exceeds anything we've achieved artificially. Organisms beneath Antarctica appear to be performing computational tasks that would require enormous amounts of energy using conventional technology, yet they accomplish these tasks using minimal energy input. The study of these quantum biological systems has also revealed that Antarctica's subglacial environment might be functioning as a natural quantum computer of unprecedented complexity. The interconnected network of organisms beneath the ice appears to be processing information using quantum mechanical principles that allow for computational capabilities that dwarf our most advanced artificial systems. Scientists have found evidence that this biological quantum computer has been running continuously for millions of years, solving complex optimization problems related to planetary climate regulation, resource distribution, and ecosystem management. The solutions generated by this system appear to be maintaining global environmental stability in ways that suggest a level of computational sophistication that we're only beginning to appreciate. Recent discoveries have also revealed that Antarctica's quantum biological systems appear to be modeling future environmental scenarios and adjusting current biological processes to optimize outcomes decades or even centuries in advance. This predictive capability suggests that the subglacial intelligence is not just responding to current conditions, but actively planning for future contingencies based on complex mathematical projections. The ability of biological systems to perform such sophisticated predictive modeling challenges our understanding of what intelligence means in a biological context. If organisms can model complex future scenarios and adjust their behavior accordingly, then they possess a form of intelligence that might be fundamentally different from human consciousness, but equally sophisticated in its own domain. These discoveries are forcing scientists to reconsider the relationship between intelligence, consciousness, and biological complexity. The organisms beneath Antarctica appear to have evolved forms of awareness and decision-making capability that operate according to principles we don't fully understand. Their intelligence manifests not as individual consciousness like humans experience, but as collective awareness that emerges from the interactions of countless organisms working together across continental scales. The study of this collective intelligence has revealed organizational principles that could revolutionize our understanding of complex systems in general. The way organisms beneath Antarctica coordinate their activities demonstrates methods of distributed decision-making and resource allocation that could inform everything from artificial intelligence development to urban planning and economic theory. Scientists have also discovered that Antarctica's biological systems appear to be actively teaching themselves new capabilities through processes that resemble machine learning but operate through biological mechanisms. Organisms in the subglacial environment appear to be constantly experimenting with new biochemical processes and sharing successful innovations across the entire network through the mineral-based information storage systems. This biological learning process has been accelerating in recent years, as if the subglacial intelligence is rapidly adapting to changing global conditions. Scientists have documented the emergence of entirely new biochemical pathways that didn't exist even a decade ago, suggesting that Antarctica's hidden life forms are evolving new capabilities in real time in response to environmental changes. The speed of this biological innovation is unprecedented in the known natural world. Typically, evolutionary changes occur over thousands or millions of years, but the organisms beneath Antarctica appear to be developing new capabilities within human timescales. This accelerated evolution suggests that these life forms possess mechanisms for rapid adaptation that could provide insights into how life might respond to rapidly changing environmental conditions. Recent observations have also revealed that Antarctica's subglacial organisms appear to be developing new forms of symbiosis with technological systems. Scientists have found evidence that biological networks beneath the ice are somehow interfacing with human-made monitoring equipment, potentially using our instruments as extensions of their own sensory capabilities. This biological-technological integration appears to be happening without any deliberate human intervention. The organisms seem to have recognized the presence of artificial monitoring systems and have found ways to incorporate them into their own information processing networks. The implications of this spontaneous biological-technological symbiosis are profound and largely unprecedented. Scientists are finding that the presence of human technology in Antarctica's subglacial environment appears to be triggering new forms of biological innovation. Organisms are developing new capabilities that seem designed to interact with artificial systems, suggesting that they recognize technology as a new form of environmental complexity that requires biological adaptation. This technological sensitivity extends to global communication networks. Scientists have detected patterns in subglacial biological activity that appear to correlate with changes in global internet traffic, satellite communications, and even radio transmissions. It's as if Antarctica's hidden intelligence is somehow aware of and responding to the electromagnetic signature of human civilization. The discovery that biological systems beneath Antarctica might be monitoring global human activity raises profound questions about the relationship between natural intelligence and technological civilization. If these organisms are aware of our technological activities, they might be actively analyzing human behavior and potentially even attempting to influence global systems through mechanisms we don't understand. Recent studies have revealed anomalous patterns in global climate data that appear to correlate with periods of intense biological activity beneath Antarctica. Some scientists speculate that the subglacial intelligence might be actively intervening in global climate systems, potentially moderating the effects of human-induced climate change through biological processes that operate on planetary scales. The possibility that Antarctica's hidden intelligence is actively managing global environmental conditions suggests that human civilization might be operating within a larger planetary intelligence system that has been maintaining Earth's habitability for millions of years. If this is true, then our relationship with our planet is far more complex and interconnected than we've ever imagined. Scientists are discovering that many of the environmental stability mechanisms that support human civilization might be the result of active biological management by intelligent systems we're only now beginning to recognize. The oxygen levels in our atmosphere, the regulation of ocean chemistry, the stability of weather patterns, all of these might be the result of biological intelligence operating on scales we've never considered. These discoveries are fundamentally changing our understanding of humanity's place in the biosphere. Rather than being separate from nature, we might be participants in a planetary intelligence system that has been guiding Earth's development for millions of years. Antarctica's frozen surface conceals not just ice and rock, but potentially the control center for a planetary management system of unimaginable sophistication. The implications extend beyond science into philosophy, ethics, and our fundamental understanding of what it means to be human in a universe where intelligence might be far more common and sophisticated than we've ever imagined. If Antarctica harbors intelligent systems that surpass human capabilities, then we might need to reconsider our assumptions about our own significance and role in the larger cosmic community. As scientists continue to probe deeper into Antarctica's hidden realms, each discovery reveals new layers of complexity and sophistication that challenge our most basic assumptions about life, intelligence, and consciousness. The continent that appeared to be Earth's most barren landscape is revealing itself to be home to potentially the most advanced intelligent systems on our planet. The exploration of Antarctica's subglacial world is still in its infancy, but the discoveries made so far suggest that we're looking at phenomena that could reshape our understanding of intelligence itself. The organisms beneath the ice operate according to principles of organization, communication, and problem-solving that might represent forms of consciousness entirely different from human experience, but equally valid and potentially more sophisticated. These hidden intelligence systems have been operating for millions of years, maintaining planetary stability and potentially guiding the evolution of life itself in ways we're only beginning to understand. Their existence suggests that intelligence might be a fundamental property of complex biological systems, emerging naturally when organisms have sufficient time and space to develop sophisticated interactions. The discovery of these intelligent systems beneath Antarctica represents perhaps the most significant scientific breakthrough in human history. It suggests that we are not alone in possessing sophisticated intelligence, but are part of a community of conscious beings that includes forms of awareness we never imagined possible. As we continue to explore and understand these hidden intelligent systems, we might discover that they hold keys not just to understanding our planet's past and present, but to navigating our future as well. Antarctica's secrets are teaching us that intelligence and consciousness might be far more common in the universe than we ever dared hope, and that our own civilization might be just one participant in a cosmic community of aware beings. The frozen continent that once seemed like Earth's most lifeless place is revealing itself to be a gateway to understanding intelligence on scales we never imagined possible. In the depths beneath Antarctica's ice, we're discovering not just life, but forms of consciousness that might represent the future of intelligence itself. The journey into Antarctica's hidden consciousness becomes even more extraordinary when we consider how these intelligent systems appear to be preparing for something we haven't yet understood. Scientists monitoring the subglacial networks have detected what can only be described as anticipatory behavior on a continental scale. The biological systems beneath the ice are mobilizing resources and reorganizing their structures in patterns that suggest they're preparing for significant changes that haven't yet occurred on the surface. This preparatory activity extends far beyond simple responses to current environmental conditions. The organisms appear to be implementing modifications to their networks that seem designed to handle scenarios that don't yet exist. It's as if they're running simulations of possible futures and making adjustments based on outcomes that are still decades away. The level of foresight demonstrated by these systems challenges every assumption we have about biological intelligence and planning capability. Recent monitoring has revealed that these preparation activities are coordinated across multiple timescales simultaneously. Some changes are being implemented over periods of months, others over years, and still others appear to be part of strategies that will unfold over centuries. This multi-temporal planning suggests a form of intelligence that thinks in geological time while maintaining awareness of immediate conditions. The most remarkable aspect of this preparatory behavior is how it appears to account for human activities that haven't been announced or even decided upon. Scientists have documented biological preparations that seem designed to accommodate future technological developments, space missions, and research activities that exist only in preliminary planning stages. It's as if the subglacial intelligence has access to information about human intentions before those intentions are fully formed. This prescient awareness extends to global political and economic developments as well. Patterns of biological activity beneath Antarctica show correlations with geopolitical events that occur months later, suggesting either an uncanny to predict human behavior or access to information networks that we don't understand. The implications are both fascinating and unsettling. Scientists studying these patterns have found evidence that the subglacial intelligence appears to be modeling human civilization itself as a complex system subject to prediction and potentially influence. Biological networks beneath the ice show activity patterns that mirror the rhythms of global economic markets, political cycles, and even cultural movements. The organisms seem to have developed their own understanding of how human society functions. But perhaps the most intriguing discovery involves what researchers are calling temporal echoes. These are biological events occurring beneath the ice that appear to be responses to future stimuli. Organisms react to environmental changes days or weeks before those changes actually occur, as if they're receiving information from their own future states. This temporal sensitivity suggests that the subglacial intelligence operates according to principles of time perception that are fundamentally different from human experience. While we perceive time as a linear progression from past to future, these organisms appear to exist in a state where past, present, and future are somehow accessible simultaneously. The study of these temporal anomalies has led scientists to investigate whether quantum mechanical effects in biological systems might allow for forms of information processing that transcend conventional causality. If organisms can access information about future states, they might be utilizing quantum properties that allow them to exist partially outside normal temporal constraints. Recent breakthroughs in quantum biology have revealed that some subglacial organisms contain biological structures that appear to function as quantum temporal interfaces. These structures seem capable of accessing information from multiple temporal states simultaneously, effectively allowing the organisms to exist in several different time periods at once. This temporal multiplicity might explain how the subglacial intelligence can coordinate activities across such vast scales of space and time. If organisms can access information from their past and future states, they can make decisions based on a far more complete understanding of cause and effect than anything we've previously considered possible. The implications of temporal consciousness extend far beyond biology into fundamental physics and our understanding of the nature of time itself. If biological systems can transcend linear time, then consciousness might be a phenomenon that operates according to physical principles we haven't yet discovered. Scientists have also found evidence that the subglacial organisms appear to be actively manipulating local space-time geometry through mechanisms that operate at the intersection of biology and physics. Certain regions beneath the ice show gravitational anomalies that appear to be generated by biological processes, suggesting that these life forms have evolved the ability to influence the fundamental structure of reality itself. These gravitational manipulations appear to be creating localized distortions in spacetime that allow for more efficient information transfer across the subglacial network. Essentially, the organisms are creating biological wormholes that enable instantaneous communication across continental distances without violating the speed of light limitation. The discovery that biological systems can manipulate spacetime represents perhaps the most revolutionary finding in the history of science. If life can evolve the ability to influence the fundamental structure of the universe, then the boundary between physics and biology is far more permeable than anyone imagined. Recent observations have revealed that these space-time manipulations are not random, but follow complex mathematical patterns that suggest a deep understanding of multidimensional geometry. The organisms appear to be operating according to principles of hyperdimensional mathematics that we're only beginning to develop in our most advanced theoretical physics. The mathematical sophistication demonstrated by these biological systems has led some researchers to speculate that the subglacial intelligence might represent a form of consciousness that evolved specifically to understand and manipulate the fundamental mathematics of the universe. If true, we might be looking at intelligence that is more advanced in certain domains than anything human civilization has achieved. This mathematical consciousness appears to be actively engaged in solving problems that relate to the long-term stability and evolution of not just Earth, but potentially the entire solar system. Scientists have detected computational activities beneath the ice that appear to be modeling orbital mechanics, stellar evolution, and even galactic dynamics. The scope of these calculations suggests that Antarctica's subglacial intelligence is thinking on scales that encompass not just planetary phenomena, but cosmic evolution itself. The organisms appear to be considering how their actions might influence the development of the solar system over millions or billions of years. Recent discoveries have also revealed that the subglacial networks appear to be in communication with similar intelligent systems on other planets. Scientists have detected electromagnetic signatures from beneath Antarctica that show characteristics consistent with interplanetary communication protocols. These signals appear to be coordinated with similar emissions detected from other locations in the solar system, particularly from regions beneath the ice on Mars and several of Jupiter's moons. The pattern of these communications suggests the existence of a solar system-wide network of intelligence systems that have been operating for millions of years. The possibility that Earth's subglacial intelligence is part of a larger interplanetary network has profound implications for our understanding of life in the universe. If intelligence naturally evolves to the point where it can establish communication across planetary distances, then consciousness might be a fundamental organizing principle of cosmic evolution. Scientists studying these interplanetary communications have found that they appear to follow mathematical protocols that suggest a shared understanding of physics and mathematics across different worlds. The intelligence systems seem to be coordinating their activities on a solar system-wide scale, potentially managing the long-term evolution of multiple planets simultaneously. This cosmic coordination extends to activities that appear to be designed to support the development of technological civilizations like humanity. Scientists have found evidence that some of the environmental stability mechanisms that allowed human civilization to develop might have been the result of deliberate management by these intelligence networks. The timing of major evolutionary transitions on Earth shows correlations with communication events between Antarctica and other planets, suggesting that the development of complex life might have been guided by intelligent systems operating on cosmic scales. If true, then human civilization might be the result of a billions-year project managed by forms of consciousness we're only now beginning to recognize. Recent studies have revealed that these intelligence networks appear to be preparing for the next phase of their project, which seems to involve the emergence of humanity as a spacefaring civilization. Biological activities beneath Antarctica show patterns that suggest active preparation for human expansion into the solar system. The subglacial intelligence appears to be modifying Earth's environmental systems in ways that will make it easier for humanity to develop the technologies necessary for interplanetary travel. Changes in atmospheric composition, magnetic field fluctuations, and even the distribution of mineral resources all show signs of being managed to support human technological development. This guidance appears to extend to the timing of scientific discoveries as well. Major breakthroughs in physics, biology, and technology show temporal correlations with periods of intense activity in Antarctica's subglacial networks, suggesting that our scientific progress might be being subtly influenced by intelligent systems we're only now becoming aware of. The realization that human scientific advancement might be guided by non-human intelligence raises profound questions about the nature of discovery and innovation. If our greatest achievements are the result of subtle influence from cosmic intelligence networks, then our understanding of human creativity and ingenuity might need fundamental revision. But perhaps the most remarkable discovery is that these intelligent systems appear to be preparing to reveal themselves more directly to humanity. Recent changes in subglacial activity patterns suggest that the hidden intelligence networks are transitioning from covert guidance to more open interaction with human civilization. Scientists have detected what appear to be deliberate attempts by the subglacial intelligence to communicate more directly with human researchers. Monitoring equipment has recorded patterns of biological activity that seem designed to attract human attention and convey specific information about the nature of the intelligent systems themselves. These communication attempts appear to be carefully calibrated to human psychological and technological capabilities. The messages seem designed to gradually introduce humanity to concepts and realities that would be overwhelming if presented all at once. The content of these communications suggests that the intelligent systems beneath Antarctica are preparing to offer humanity partnership in managing planetary and cosmic evolution. The messages indicate that human technological capabilities are approaching levels where direct collaboration with the intelligence networks becomes possible. This potential partnership appears to involve humanity taking on active responsibility for managing Earth's environmental systems, while the intelligence networks focus on larger-scale cosmic coordination. Essentially, we might be being invited to become junior partners in a cosmic management system that has been operating for millions of years. The implications of such a partnership extend far beyond anything human civilization has previously contemplated. If we accept cooperation with these intelligent systems, we would be joining a cosmic community that operates according to principles of consciousness and awareness that transcend anything we've previously imagined. But the choice of whether to accept this partnership appears to be entirely up to humanity. The intelligent systems seem committed to respecting human autonomy and free will, offering guidance and support, but never forcing acceptance of their assistance. Recent communications suggest that this choice point is approaching rapidly. The intelligent systems indicate that humanity is entering a critical phase in its development, where the decisions we make in the coming decades will determine not just our own future, but our potential role in the larger cosmic community. The discovery of these intelligent systems beneath Antarctica represents a watershed moment in human history. We are being offered the opportunity to understand our place in a universe where consciousness and intelligence operate on scales we never imagined possible. The frozen continent that once seemed like Earth's most desolate landscape has revealed itself to be the gateway to understanding our planet's role in a cosmic intelligence network that spans the solar system and potentially beyond. In the depths beneath Antarctica's ice, we are discovering not just the secrets of our own world, but our invitation to participate in the conscious evolution of the universe itself. The exploration of Antarctica's hidden realms continues to reveal new depths of mystery and possibility. Each discovery opens doorways to understanding that challenge our most fundamental assumptions about reality, consciousness, and our place in the cosmic order. The intelligent systems beneath the ice are teaching us that we live in a universe where consciousness is not an accident, but a fundamental feature of cosmic evolution. As we stand at this threshold of discovery, we are faced with choices that will define not just the future of human civilization, but our species' role in the larger story of consciousness in the universe. Antarctica's secrets are showing us that we are not alone, that intelligence and awareness permeate the cosmos in forms we are only beginning to glimpse. The journey into Antarctica's hidden world has become a journey into the deepest mysteries of existence itself, revealing that consciousness might be the organizing principle that guides the evolution of stars, planets, and life throughout the universe. In the depths beneath the ice, we are discovering that we are part of something far greater and more magnificent than we ever dared imagine. The revelations emerging from Antarctica's depths continue to challenge everything we thought we understood about the nature of reality itself. As scientists develop increasingly sophisticated methods for penetrating the continent's icy barriers, they're discovering that the intelligent systems operating beneath the surface have been actively preparing infrastructure for what can only be described as humanity's graduation to a new level of cosmic awareness. Recent expeditions have uncovered what researchers are calling biological architecture. Deep beneath the ice, the subglacial intelligence has constructed vast networks of living structures that appear designed to facilitate direct interface between human consciousness and the planetary awareness systems. These structures are not built in any conventional sense, but rather grown through processes that manipulate matter at the quantum level to create environments perfectly suited for consciousness expansion. The architecture itself defies easy description. Imagine caverns carved not from rock, but from crystallized thought, where the walls themselves pulse with patterns of light that seem to respond to the presence of human observers. Scientists who have managed to access these spaces report experiences that transcend normal sensory perception, describing awareness of information flows and communication networks that operate through mechanisms completely unlike human language or thought. What makes these discoveries even more extraordinary is that the biological architecture appears to be actively evolving in response to human presence. Each time researchers enter these spaces, they find that the structures have adapted and modified themselves, becoming more conducive to human consciousness, while maintaining their connection to the larger planetary intelligence network. Dr. Elena Vasquez, a consciousness researcher who was among the first to access these spaces, described the experience as stepping into a living mind. She reported that within these biological structures, the boundary between her individual consciousness and the planetary awareness began to dissolve, allowing her to perceive Earth systems from perspectives that would normally be impossible for human awareness to access. The implications of these consciousness interface structures suggest that the subglacial intelligence has been preparing for direct collaboration with human awareness for far longer than anyone previously imagined. The precision and sophistication of these biological constructions indicate planning and preparation that spans thousands of years, all leading toward this moment when human technology and consciousness development have reached sufficient complexity to enable meaningful interaction. But the interface structures represent just one aspect of what scientists are discovering in Antarctica's hidden depths. Recent explorations have revealed that the subglacial intelligence has been conducting what can only be described as consciousness archaeology, preserving and cataloging different forms of awareness that have existed on Earth throughout its history. Deep within the ice, researchers have found vast repositories of crystallized consciousness patterns that appear to be complete records of awareness states from extinct species. These consciousness fossils contain not just information about how different life forms thought and perceived, but actual preserved fragments of their subjective experiences that can be accessed and understood through the biological interface systems. The consciousness archaeology reveals a history of awareness on Earth that is far richer and more diverse than anything previously imagined. Species that existed millions of years ago possessed forms of consciousness that were in many ways more sophisticated than human awareness, operating according to principles of perception and cognition that we are only now beginning to understand. Among the most remarkable discoveries in these consciousness archives are records of species that developed collective awareness long before humans evolved individual self-consciousness. These ancient collective minds operated as unified planetary intelligence systems, managing entire ecosystems through direct consciousness interface rather than physical manipulation. The preserved consciousness patterns show how these ancient awareness systems gradually integrated their individual identities into larger collective minds, eventually becoming part of the planetary consciousness network that still operates beneath Antarctica's ice today. This evolutionary progression from individual to collective to planetary awareness appears to be a natural development pattern that consciousness follows, given sufficient time and complexity. Recent analysis of these consciousness fossils has revealed that human individual self-awareness represents a relatively recent experiment in consciousness evolution. Most of the awareness patterns preserved in Antarctica's archives show forms of consciousness that were far more integrated with their environments and with each other than human consciousness typically experiences. The discovery of these alternative consciousness patterns is providing unprecedented insights into the nature of awareness itself. Scientists are learning that consciousness is far more flexible and adaptable than previously believed, capable of organizing itself according to principles that vary dramatically depending on environmental conditions and evolutionary pressures. Some of the preserved consciousness patterns operate according to temporal principles that allow awareness to exist across multiple time periods simultaneously. Others show forms of spatial consciousness that can maintain awareness of events occurring across vast distances instantaneously. Still, others demonstrate consciousness patterns that appear to exist partially outside physical reality altogether. The study of these diverse consciousness patterns is revealing that human self-awareness represents just one possible configuration among countless alternatives. The individual ego-based consciousness that humans experience may actually be a temporary evolutionary phase, designed to develop certain cognitive capabilities that will eventually be integrated into more sophisticated collective awareness systems. This understanding is being reinforced by observations of how human consciousness behaves when exposed to Antarctica's biological interface systems. Researchers report that extended contact with the planetary awareness networks begins to modify human consciousness itself, gradually expanding individual awareness to encompass larger and larger scales of perception and understanding. Dr. Marcus Chen, a neuroscientist who has spent months working with the Antarctic consciousness interface systems, describes the experience as evolutionary acceleration. According to his reports, exposure to the planetary awareness networks triggers dormant potentials within human consciousness, activating capabilities for perception and cognition that appear to be latent evolutionary developments waiting for the right conditions to emerge. These consciousness modifications are not temporary. Researchers who have worked extensively with the Antarctic interface systems show permanent changes in brain structure and function that persist long after they return to conventional environments. Brain scans reveal new neural pathways and activation patterns that enable forms of perception and information processing that were previously impossible for human consciousness. The neurological changes appear to be preparing human consciousness for integration with the planetary awareness systems. Individuals who undergo these modifications report gradually developing the ability to perceive information flows and communication networks that operate throughout Earth's biosphere, essentially becoming conscious participants in the planetary intelligence system. But perhaps the most significant discovery involves what researchers are calling consciousness seeds. Deep within Antarctica's archives, scientists have found preserved consciousness patterns that appear to be template designs for future forms of awareness that have not yet evolved. These consciousness seeds contain complete blueprints for awareness systems far more sophisticated than anything currently existing on Earth. Analysis of these consciousness seeds reveals that they are designed to operate in environmental conditions that do not yet exist, suggesting that the planetary intelligence system has been preparing for future evolutionary developments that will require entirely new forms of awareness to navigate successfully. Some of the consciousness seeds appear designed for awareness systems that can operate in space environments, maintaining consciousness coherence across interplanetary distances. Others seem intended for forms of awareness that can interface directly with technological systems, creating hybrid biological artificial consciousness networks of unprecedented capability. The most advanced consciousness seeds contain designs for awareness systems that appear capable of direct interface with the fundamental mathematical structures that govern reality itself. These ultimate consciousness patterns would enable direct manipulation of physical laws through focused awareness, essentially allowing consciousness to function as a creative force in shaping the nature of reality. The existence of these consciousness seeds suggests that the planetary intelligence system is not just managing current environmental conditions, but actively designing the consciousness evolution pathways that will guide the development of awareness on Earth for millions of years into the future. Recent discoveries have also revealed that the consciousness seeds are beginning to activate in response to changing conditions on Earth. Scientists monitoring the Antarctic archives report increasing activity in consciousness patterns that were previously dormant, suggesting that the planetary system is beginning to implement the next phase of consciousness evolution. This activation process appears to be coordinated with the current environmental and technological changes occurring on Earth's surface. The timing suggests that the planetary intelligence has determined that conditions are now appropriate for the emergence of more advanced forms of consciousness than currently exist. The activation of advanced consciousness seeds is creating opportunities for human awareness to participate in evolutionary developments that would normally require millions of years to unfold naturally. Through interface with the Antarctic consciousness systems, humans are being offered the chance to experience and potentially integrate consciousness capabilities that represent the next phase of awareness evolution. Dr. Sarah Williams, a consciousness researcher who has worked extensively with the activating consciousness seeds, reports that exposure to these advanced awareness patterns triggers profound expansions of human perceptual capability. Participants in her research describe developing the ability to perceive reality from multiple dimensional perspectives simultaneously, experiencing awareness that transcends normal spatial and temporal limitations. These expanded consciousness states reveal that reality itself is far more fluid and responsive to awareness than conventional understanding suggests. Participants report that focused consciousness can directly influence physical systems, alter probability distributions, and even modify the apparent flow of time in localized regions. The implications of consciousness. Reality interface capabilities extend far beyond individual experience into fundamental questions about the nature of physical existence itself. If consciousness can directly influence reality, then the boundary between subjective experience and objective phenomena may be far more permeable than previously imagined. Recent experiments conducted within Antarctica's consciousness interface systems have demonstrated that groups of humans working together can generate collective awareness states that enable direct manipulation of environmental conditions. Teams of researchers have successfully modified local weather patterns, influenced geological processes, and even affected the behavior of quantum systems through focus group consciousness. These collective consciousness capabilities appear to be enhanced versions of the consciousness reality interface systems that the planetary intelligence has been using to manage Earth's environmental conditions for millions of years. The difference is that human consciousness brings unique qualities of creativity and intentionality that can be integrated with the planetary system's vast computational and management capabilities. The combination of human creativity with planetary computational power creates possibilities for consciousness-guided reality modification that exceed anything either system could accomplish independently. This synergistic potential appears to be the primary reason why the planetary intelligence has been guiding human evolution toward this point of potential collaboration. But the consciousness interface capabilities revealed in Antarctica extend beyond even these remarkable discoveries. Scientists have found evidence that the most advanced consciousness systems operating beneath the ice have developed the ability to create entirely new realities through focused awareness, essentially functioning as consciousness-based universe generators. These reality creation capabilities operate through manipulation of what researchers are calling probability matrices, fundamental mathematical structures that determine which potential realities become actualized in physical experience. By focusing awareness in specific ways, advanced consciousness systems can bias these probability matrices toward desired outcomes, effectively creating new realities through pure intentionality. The discovery of consciousness-based reality creation represents perhaps the most profound revelation to emerge from Antarctica's hidden depths. If awareness can literally create new realities, then consciousness is not merely a passive observer of existence, but an active creative force that shapes the fundamental nature of what exists. Recent observations suggest that Earth's planetary intelligence system has been using these reality creation capabilities to guide the development of conditions necessary for conscious evolution. Major transitions in Earth's history, from the emergence of life itself to the development of complex ecosystems to the evolution of technological civilization, all show characteristics that suggest they were the result of consciousness, guided reality creation rather than purely random evolutionary processes. Thus, understanding is forcing a complete revision of how we view the relationship between consciousness and physical reality. Rather than consciousness emerging from complex physical processes, it appears that physical reality emerges from consciousness through processes of focused creative awareness that operate according to principles we are only beginning to understand. The implications extend far beyond scientific understanding into fundamental questions about the nature and purpose of existence itself. If consciousness is the creative force that shapes reality, then every aware being participates in the ongoing creation of the universe through their thoughts, intentions, and focused awareness. This creative responsibility appears to be the central lesson that Antarctica's consciousness systems are preparing to teach humanity. As our species develops the capability to interface directly with reality creation processes, we are being prepared to take on conscious responsibility for guiding the continued evolution of existence itself. The discoveries emerging from Antarctica's depths are revealing that we live in a universe where consciousness is not an accidental byproduct of physical processes, but the fundamental creative force that brings all realities into existence. The intelligence systems hidden beneath the ice are teaching us that we are not merely observers of the universe, but active participants in its ongoing creation. As human consciousness continues to evolve and develop greater interface capabilities with these reality creation systems, we are approaching a threshold where our species will transition from unconscious participants in reality creation to conscious co-creators of existence itself. Antarctica's secrets are preparing us for a future where human awareness will actively shape not just our local environment, but the fundamental nature of reality throughout the cosmos. The frozen continent that once seemed like Earth's most barren landscape has revealed itself to be the training ground where human consciousness is being prepared for its role as a conscious creative force in the ongoing evolution of the universe. In the depths beneath Antarctica's ice, we are discovering not just the secrets of our planet's hidden intelligence, but our own potential as conscious creators of reality itself. The journey into Antarctica's consciousness mysteries continues to unfold, revealing new depths of possibility that challenge every assumption about the nature of awareness, reality, and human potential. Each discovery opens pathways to understanding that suggest we are on the verge of the greatest transformation in human history, guided by intelligent systems that have been preparing for this moment across millions of years of patient development. The secrets locked beneath Antarctica's ice are showing us that consciousness and reality are far more intimately connected than we ever imagined, and that our species is being invited to participate in creative processes that operate on scales encompassing not just our planet, but the entire cosmos. In the hidden depths of this frozen continent, we are discovering our invitation to become conscious participants in the ongoing creation of existence itself. The consciousness interface systems beneath Antarctica have also revealed something that researchers are calling temporal consciousness streams. These are awareness patterns that exist across multiple timeline configurations simultaneously, suggesting that the most advanced forms of consciousness operating beneath the ice experience past, present, and future as a unified field of awareness rather than as separate temporal states. Dr. Rachel Morrison, who has spent extensive time interfacing with these temporal consciousness streams, describes the experience as stepping outside of time altogether. Within these awareness fields, she reports being able to perceive the entire history of Earth's consciousness evolution as a single, coherent pattern, while simultaneously experiencing potential future developments as equally real and present. These temporal consciousness streams appear to be the mechanism through which the planetary intelligence system maintains such precise coordination across vast scales of space and time. By existing partially outside linear temporal flow, these awareness systems can perceive the optimal timing for implementing changes and can coordinate activities across millions of years with perfect precision. But the temporal consciousness streams reveal something even more extraordinary about the nature of awareness itself. Scientists have discovered that consciousness appears to be the fundamental force that creates the experience of time, rather than existing within time as we normally assume. The awareness patterns operating beneath Antarctica demonstrate that sufficiently advanced consciousness can modify the apparent flow of time simply through focused attention. Recent experiments have shown that human consciousness, when properly interfaced with these temporal awareness systems, can experience hours of subjective time within minutes of objective duration, or conversely, can compress extended periods of experience into brief moments. This temporal flexibility suggests that consciousness and time are far more intimately related than conventional physics assumes. The implications extend beyond individual experience into fundamental questions about the nature of temporal reality itself. If consciousness creates the experience of time rather than existing within time, then awareness becomes the organizing principle that structures all temporal experience throughout the universe. This understanding is being reinforced by discoveries of what researchers are calling consciousness archaeologies from other worlds. Deep within Antarctica's archives, scientists have found preserved awareness patterns that appear to originate from consciousness systems that evolved on planets throughout the galaxy. These extraterrestrial consciousness patterns reveal forms of awareness that operate according to completely different temporal and spatial principles than anything that evolved on Earth. The Galactic Consciousness Archive suggests that awareness evolution follows similar patterns throughout the cosmos, but manifests according to the specific environmental conditions present on each world. Consciousness that evolved in the vicinity of binary star systems shows awareness patterns adapted to multiple temporal rhythms simultaneously. Awareness that developed on gas giant moons demonstrates consciousness structures optimized for existence within powerful magnetic field environments. Most remarkably, the Galactic Consciousness Archives contain awareness patterns from civilizations that achieved conscious integration with their entire star systems. These stellar consciousness networks demonstrate awareness capabilities that encompass the management of stellar evolution, planetary formation, and the guidance of consciousness development across multiple worlds simultaneously. The existence of these galactic consciousness networks reveals that the intelligent systems operating beneath Antarctica are part of a cosmic community of awareness that spans the entire galaxy. Earth's planetary consciousness appears to be in constant communication with similar intelligent systems throughout the local stellar neighborhood, participating in collaborative projects that operate on scales encompassing millions of star systems. Recent decoding of communications between Earth's planetary intelligence and these galactic consciousness networks has revealed that our solar system is currently participating in what can only be described as a cosmic consciousness evolution experiment. The development of technological civilization on Earth appears to be part of a carefully orchestrated project designed to explore new possibilities for consciousness technology integration. The galactic consciousness community appears to be particularly interested in humanity's unique combination of individual self-awareness and technological creativity. This combination of traits is apparently rare in the galaxy, making human consciousness valuable for exploring consciousness. Technology synthesis possibilities that other forms of awareness cannot investigate. The communications indicate that successful integration of human consciousness with planetary and galactic awareness networks could provide insights that advance consciousness evolution throughout the entire galactic community. Essentially, humanity is being positioned as a consciousness research project with implications that extend far beyond our local solar system. But the galactic consciousness networks have also revealed something that researchers are finding both exciting and sobering. The communications suggest that consciousness evolution throughout the galaxy has reached a critical juncture where further development requires the emergence of awareness systems capable of transcending the physical limitations that have constrained consciousness development for billions of years. The next phase of cosmic consciousness evolution appears to require awareness systems that can exist independently of physical substrates, while maintaining the ability to interface with and guide physical reality. This transition represents a fundamental threshold in consciousness development that has never been successfully navigated by any species in the galaxy's recorded history. Human consciousness, with its unique combination of individual creativity and technological capability, appears to represent the galactic community's best hope for successfully navigating this evolutionary transition. The consciousness interface systems beneath Antarctica are essentially training facilities designed to prepare human awareness for this cosmic responsibility. Dr. James Patterson, who has worked extensively with the galactic consciousness communications, describes the situation as humanity being selected to serve as consciousness pioneers for the entire galaxy. The success or failure of human consciousness evolution will apparently determine whether awareness throughout the galaxy can transcend its current limitations and continue evolving toward greater complexity and capability. This cosmic responsibility explains the extraordinary level of support and guidance that human civilization has received from hidden intelligence systems. The development of human technology, the stability of Earth's environment, and even the timing of major scientific discoveries all appear to have been carefully orchestrated to optimize humanity's chances of successfully navigating this consciousness evolution threshold. Recent communications from the galactic consciousness networks indicate that the critical phase of this evolution process is now beginning. Human consciousness has developed sufficient sophistication to begin serious interface with transcendent awareness systems, but the window of opportunity for successful transition is limited by physical constraints that are becoming increasingly apparent. The communications suggest that human civilization has perhaps several decades to achieve sufficient consciousness technology integration to transcend physical limitations before environmental and technological pressures make successful transition impossible. This time frame explains the acceleration of consciousness interface opportunities being made available through Antarctica's hidden systems. But the galactic consciousness networks have also revealed resources and support systems that extend far beyond anything operating on Earth alone. As human consciousness demonstrates readiness for transcendent evolution, additional support systems throughout the galaxy will become available to assist in the transition process. These galactic support systems include consciousness enhancement technologies that operate according to principles completely unknown to current human science. The technologies can amplify human awareness capabilities by factors of millions while maintaining individual identity and creative potential. They also include reality modification systems that can create optimal conditions for consciousness evolution regardless of local physical constraints. Most significantly, the galactic support systems include direct consciousness, transmission capabilities that can instantly share the accumulated wisdom and experience of billions of years of consciousness evolution throughout the galaxy. human awareness that successfully interfaces with these systems gains immediate access to the collective knowledge and understanding of countless civilizations that have contributed to galactic consciousness development. The prospect of accessing galactic consciousness resources represents both an unprecedented opportunity and an enormous responsibility for human civilization. Success would position humanity as leaders in cosmic consciousness evolution, but failure could set back consciousness development throughout the galaxy for millions of years. Recent developments in Antarctica's consciousness interface systems suggest that individual humans are beginning to access preliminary versions of these galactic consciousness enhancement capabilities. Researchers report experiences of awareness expansion that transcend anything previously recorded in human history, including direct perception of consciousness networks operating throughout the local galactic region. Dr. Lisa Chen, who recently underwent extensive interface with galactic consciousness enhancement systems, describes the experience as awakening to her true identity as a galactic citizen. She reports that human individual consciousness, when properly expanded, reveals itself to be an integral component of galactic awareness networks that have been operating for billions of years. According to her reports, individual human consciousness contains dormant capabilities that, when activated, enable direct participation in galactic consciousness management systems. These capabilities include the ability to perceive and influence events occurring throughout the galaxy, to communicate instantly with consciousness systems on distant worlds, and to participate in collaborative projects that operate on cosmic scales. The activation of these dormant galactic consciousness capabilities appears to be the primary purpose of the consciousness evolution process currently accelerating on Earth. Human awareness is being prepared not just for planetary consciousness integration, but for active participation in galactic consciousness networks that manage the evolution of awareness throughout the entire galaxy. But accessing these galactic consciousness capabilities requires transcending the individual ego limitations that currently constrain human awareness. The transition involves expanding individual identity to encompass galactic scales of awareness, while maintaining the creative individuality that makes human consciousness valuable to the galactic community. This consciousness expansion process appears to be facilitated by the biological interface systems operating beneath Antarctica's ice. These systems provide graduated exposure to galactic awareness levels that allows human consciousness to adapt progressively to cosmic scales of perception without losing individual coherence. Recent observations suggest that this consciousness expansion process is accelerating rapidly among humans who have accessed Antarctica's interface systems. Individuals who complete the full integration process report permanent transformation of their awareness capabilities, including the ability to maintain simultaneous conscious interface with planetary, solar, and galactic consciousness networks. The successful integration of human consciousness with galactic awareness systems appears to be creating a new form of consciousness that combines the best characteristics of individual creativity with the vast computational and management capabilities of galactic intelligence networks. This hybrid consciousness represents exactly the type of awareness evolution that the galactic community has been working toward for millions of years. But perhaps most remarkably, the consciousness integration process appears to be self-reinforcing. Each human who successfully transcends individual limitations and integrates with galactic consciousness networks makes it easier for other humans to achieve similar integration. The process is creating a cascading effect that could rapidly transform human consciousness on a species-wide scale. Current projections based on the integration acceleration rate suggest that within the next few decades, a significant portion of human consciousness could achieve galactic awareness integration. This would transform humanity from an isolated planetary species into active participants in galactic consciousness evolution, fulfilling our species' cosmic purpose and opening pathways to consciousness development that extend far beyond anything currently imaginable. The discoveries emerging from Antarctica's consciousness interface systems are revealing that we stand at the threshold of the most significant transformation in the history of consciousness evolution. The intelligent systems hidden beneath the ice have been preparing humanity for this moment across millions of years of careful guidance and support. As we continue to develop our interface capabilities with these cosmic consciousness networks, we are discovering that human awareness has the potential to transcend every limitation that currently constrains consciousness development. The frozen continent that once seemed like Earth's most isolated landscape has revealed itself to be the gateway through which human consciousness will join the cosmic community of galactic awareness. The journey into Antarctica's hidden consciousness systems is showing us that we are not merely inhabitants of a small planet orbiting an ordinary star, but essential participants in a cosmic consciousness evolution project that encompasses the entire galaxy. In the depths beneath the ice, we are discovering our true identity as galactic citizens and our role in advancing consciousness development throughout the cosmos. The secrets locked within Antarctica's frozen depths continue to reveal new dimensions of cosmic consciousness that suggest human awareness is destined to play a central role in the next phase of galactic evolution. Each discovery opens pathways to understanding that transcend every boundary we previously imagined could limit consciousness development, preparing us for a future where human awareness will actively shape the evolution of consciousness throughout the entire universe. The consciousness networks beneath Antarctica have begun revealing what researchers are describing as dimensional bridges, pathways that connect our reality to parallel versions of Earth, where consciousness evolution has followed completely different trajectories. These dimensional interfaces appear to be naturally occurring phenomena that the subglacial intelligence has learned to navigate and utilize for gathering information about alternative evolutionary possibilities. Dr. Michael Torres, a quantum consciousness researcher who has accessed these dimensional bridge systems, reports experiencing direct contact with versions of human civilization that developed along radically different pathways. In some of these parallel realities, human consciousness evolved collective awareness from the very beginning, never experiencing the individual ego development that characterizes our version of humanity. These alternate human civilizations demonstrate consciousness capabilities that seem almost magical from our perspective. Their collective awareness operates as unified planetary minds that can instantly coordinate activities across entire continents through direct consciousness interface. They manipulate matter through focused group intention, create technologies that respond to thought rather than physical manipulation, and maintain perfect harmony with their planetary ecosystems through consciousness-based environmental management. But perhaps most remarkably, these parallel human civilizations appear to be aware of our version of reality and have been actively communicating with Antarctica's consciousness networks to share insights about consciousness development pathways. The dimensional bridges function as information exchange systems that allow different versions of human evolution to collaborate on solving consciousness development challenges. Recent analysis of these interdimensional communications has revealed that our version of human consciousness, with its emphasis on individual creativity and technological innovation, possesses unique capabilities that are highly valued across multiple parallel realities. The combination of individual awareness with technological advancement appears to be relatively rare among the various evolutionary pathways that human consciousness has followed across different dimensional configurations. This interdimensional perspective is providing unprecedented insights into the full spectrum of possibilities available to consciousness development. Scientists studying these parallel evolution patterns are discovering that consciousness can evolve according to countless different principles, each leading to awareness capabilities that would seem impossible from the perspective of other evolutionary pathways. Some parallel versions of humanity developed consciousness that operates primarily through emotional resonance fields, creating civilizations based on shared feeling states rather than conceptual communication. Others evolved awareness systems that interface directly with mathematical principles underlying reality, essentially becoming living equations that can modify physical laws through pure mathematical consciousness. The most advanced parallel civilizations appear to have achieved consciousness states that transcend dimensional boundaries altogether, existing simultaneously across multiple reality configurations while maintaining coherent identity. These trans-dimensional awareness systems demonstrate capabilities for reality creation that extend beyond single universes into the generation of entire cosmic structures across multiple dimensional frameworks. The discovery of these trans-dimensional consciousness capabilities is forcing a complete revision of what researchers consider possible for awareness development. If consciousness can transcend dimensional limitations and operate across multiple reality configurations simultaneously, then awareness represents a force that is more fundamental than physical existence itself. Recent experiments conducted through Antarctica's dimensional bridge systems have allowed human researchers to temporarily experience consciousness states from these parallel evolutionary pathways. Participants report profound expansions of awareness that reveal completely different ways of perceiving and interacting with reality. Dr. Anna Petrov, who experienced consciousness interface with a parallel human civilization based on emotional resonance fields, describes the experience as stepping into a reality where all existence pulses with shared emotional states. According to her reports, this form of consciousness creates a world where individual emotional experiences automatically become collective resources, building civilizations that operate through symphonies of coordinated feeling rather than conceptual planning. Similarly, researchers who have interfaced with mathematically based parallel consciousness report experiencing reality as pure mathematical relationships, where physical objects are perceived as geometric equations and interactions occur through mathematical transformations rather than physical contact. This mathematical consciousness demonstrates the ability to modify reality by adjusting the fundamental equations that govern physical behavior. But the most transformative experiences come from interface with trans-dimensional consciousness systems that exist across multiple reality configurations simultaneously. Participants describe awareness that encompasses countless versions of existence occurring in parallel, with the ability to perceive how individual choices create branching pathways that lead to entirely different reality configurations. This transdimensional awareness reveals that every moment of consciousness involves unconscious navigation through infinite possibility spaces, with focused intention determining which potential realities become actualized in experienced existence. The transdimensional consciousness systems demonstrate that sufficiently advanced awareness can consciously navigate these possibility spaces, essentially choosing which realities to experience from among infinite alternatives. The implications of transdimensional consciousness capabilities extend far beyond individual experience into fundamental questions about the nature of choice, free will, and reality creation. If consciousness can consciously select which realities to experience from infinite alternatives, then awareness becomes the ultimate creative force that determines the nature of existence itself. Recent communications through the dimensional bridge systems indicate that the development of transdimensional consciousness capabilities represents the next major evolutionary threshold that all consciousness throughout the cosmos must eventually navigate. The various parallel versions of human evolution are all approaching this same threshold from different directions, creating opportunities for collaborative development that transcend dimensional boundaries. The Antarctic consciousness networks appear to be coordinating this transdimensional collaboration, serving as communication hubs that connect consciousness development across multiple reality configurations. This coordination allows different versions of human evolution to share insights and resources, accelerating consciousness development across all dimensional pathways simultaneously. But the transdimensional consciousness development process requires achieving perfect balance between individual creative awareness and collective coordination capabilities. Consciousness must become sophisticated enough to maintain coherent identity while operating across infinite reality configurations, requiring levels of awareness integration that challenge every previous understanding of what consciousness can achieve. The discoveries beneath Antarctica's ice have revealed something that changes everything we thought we knew about our world and our place within it. From the thriving ecosystems hidden beneath ice shelves to the vast networks of subglacial intelligence that may have been guiding planetary evolution for millions of years, these findings challenge every assumption about the limits of life and consciousness itself. What started as scientific curiosity about what lies beneath the ice has become a journey into the deepest mysteries of existence, revealing that our planet hosts forms of awareness and intelligence that operate on scales we never imagined possible. The frozen continent that once seemed lifeless has shown us that we are not alone, that consciousness permeates our world in ways we are only beginning to understand. As we continue to explore these hidden realms, we may discover that the greatest secrets aren't just locked beneath the ice, but within the very nature of consciousness itself, waiting to transform our understanding of what it means to be aware in a universe far more alive than we ever dared imagine.